for all the viewers, a quick thing that Deepa Rafeeque is here with us as our guest. And Deepa and I have known each other through like a common DEI group. And we have kind of stayed in touch because Deepa has really helped me a lot in the recent past. And it was only fair that, I welcomed her into the other side of the world where a lot more people, whenever they require, will at least know that there are other people with real knowledge and real expertise that can come on board and help. So thank you again for being with us. Just a quick introduction for people who don't know, and of course they can go and connect with Deepa and learn more about her work. But quickly, Deepa Rafeeque is the co-founder of VLegal, a legal consultancy and training firm recognized by the Minister of Women and Child Development as a under the Government of India. With over 3 decades of experience in legal management and vigilance under PSUs, Deepa brings deep subject expertise and empathetic insight to every session she leads. A certified trainer from the Indian Academy of Training and Development and an outbound trainer from the Life Academy, Deepa specializes in soft skills and legal trainings across areas like contract drafting, POSH, labor laws, DEI, and data privacy. Her analytical clarity, active listening, and dynamic delivery have made her a trusted facilitator for corporates, including engagements with iSkillbox, TUV India, and more. That's not all. Deepa also serves as the state president of the Wiki Karnataka Anti-Sexual Harassment Council, where she champions awareness in both organized and unorganized sectors. She is the author of Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Law and Practice. And she leads flagship programs like Train the Trainer, POSH, and POXO, empowering others to advocate for women's and children's rights across India. Whew, that's a lot, Deepa. How did you do all of that? That is some fantastic work, and I'm so glad that you're here with us.
Thank you, Sonali, inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to share my views here. And whatever you have said is that's all. I don't know to what extent I'll be able to reach up to your expectation, but I'll try to answer whatever you questions and all our friends are having and you are having, all of you.
Thank you so much. Yes, so Pride Month kind of just got over, but at the end of the day, there are people who are from the community all year long. I think the celebration is just a bit more visible in nature, and in workplaces, we have always seen that employees have like a never have an upper hand, don't even have an equal hand most of the times. And when it comes from people from the community, they already feel like, there's a lot of gratitude because the world has not been easy or pretty tough on them. And which is why I keep hearing things about them functioning out of this sense of, hey, but I'm from the community, I just don't want to lose my opportunity to work, earn a livelihood. So they let people treat them a certain way, even though it is unfair, right? So we will try and uncover that when knowledge is power. And when you understand that it doesn't matter what your orientation identity is, at the end of the day, there is law. And if this is specific right and wrong, there is black and white, not everything is gray, right? So I have a set of questions that I'd like to ask you. And of course, whoever is tuning in, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, you can always let us know here as well. So, all right. On that note,
Sure, Sonali. I am there to answer your questions as well as our friends. Anyone, any question is coming up on the platform. But before we start, just one thing that whatever answer I am giving to any of your questions, that's not my personal views. That is what the law says. Because one thing let's all of us to understand is law is not bothered about our emotions, sentiments, or so-called social norms, and law is far away from logic. Logically we may say this should be, this should not be, but law may not go with that. So law is very different. And other thing is, uh, law is having a territorial jurisdiction. So what I will talk about, Indian law, so it is applicable within the territory of India, not beyond India, because all the laws are having territorial jurisdiction, right?
absolutely,
So and
absolutely.
so I will talk according to what the Indian law says on the subject, right?
Perfect.
And that's
Yeah,
not the official legal advice for anyone. It's a
absolutely.
basic legal idea of what the how you can go and what can be done.
Sure, definitely. So yes, this is not at the end of the day, every case is very unique. So please
Yeah.
have a chat with Deepa if there's any specific struggles or requirements you have.
Because
This
it
is
differs
just
from case to case, situation, circumstances, people involved. So the interpretation of law gets changed with that.
absolutely, absolutely. Fair enough. Okay, perfect. So now that now we're gonna start off. So, Deepa, quick thing. I want to ask that are there any specific protections under the Indian law today for queer employees?
Okay, queer employees. Now, before I answer that, I have a question to you. What do you mean by queer employees?
People who are from the LGBT
Whom,
plus
whom all
community.
you want to whom all you want to bring it under that umbrella? LGBTQ plus 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 plus, right?
Yes, yes,
That is what I understand.
yes, correct,
What you are asking me. Okay.
correct.
So now the thing is, uh, in India, we have separate law for protection of rights for transgender, and we have obviously Constitution of India. When we say LGBTQ plus plus plus, so L lesbian, G gay, asexual, bisexual, and all those are. In all these categories, the people have already identified themselves either a man or a woman, male or female biologically, right? Only the transgender is where the biologically they don't fit in the definition of either male or female. Okay, so now the thing is, if you have already identified yourself either a male or a female, you are governed by the laws which are applicable to a man or to a woman, because rest is my personal interest, it's not my biology. So the law which are special only covers the people who are biologically does not fall within the definition of either male or female, and under law they are called third gender or transgender. But rest all are covered by their individual men or women laws. So, yes, Constitution of India is the basic law which gives all of us to be in this country as citizen of India, irrespective of whatever gender we belong to. And that Constitution gives us the fundamental right of equality. That says there should not be any discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, etc., etc., etc. 1950 Constitution came in force. We are in 2025. 75 years on, but socially lot of discriminations are there and that exist. So that is the first law, and the Constitution itself gives the fundamental right to choose the profession as well to everyone. Every citizen is free to choose their profession whatever they want to. Only thing is that profession should not be illegal. Means I can't take a profession of killing people like wo supari lene wala, that I can't do because that's illegal as per a basic law of land. So any profession which is legal, I'm free to take any of the profession. Nobody can question me why you are in this profession, why you are in this job. That is my fundamental right, any one of us, irrespective of gender, caste, religion, irrespective of that. So that is what one thing that Constitution give us as a fundamental right. Now, the second law, which is a special law, that is the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. This law came in force in India from January 2020. Very recent law, just 5 years old. So many people are still not aware of it because 1920 January law came in force. From March, we were in lockdown for 2 years. Everything was disturbed. So nobody knew when this law came in. This is a special law protecting all third gender citizens of the country, third gender or transgender as defined under the law. Any type of discrimination is not allowed. Uh, Recruitment, uh, at home, at workplace, during the job, at any point of time, or for a medical facilities or for education, no discrimination is allowed. If the discrimination happens, you are free to challenge it. So we have two laws: Constitution of India and the Transgender Act. That is what we call it as in short.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much for that clarity. I think a lot of people get confused between sexual orientation and gender identity.
Exactly. Huh.
So orientation is very personal. Who you're attracted to is, it doesn't matter because again, the law does not look at that aspect when it
Yes.
kind of comes to protect you or it lays out the rules for you. And if any
Correct.
company tries to create any bias based on that, then they're obviously not
Wrong.
doing justice. Yeah, then they're not acting in the way that they should act. And when it comes to trans people, the law has a specific set of rights that protect them. So,
Right.
I think you and I were talking to understand that we have never, I mean, citizens of the country have never really learned law that is
Correct.
important for them. Only lawyers learn law, which is why we are
Lawyers
so
and
like
judges.
we are so in the dark. And anytime anything happens, we have no idea what to do, what is happening, and
Exactly.
it's sad. So thank you so much for sharing that. So quickly, because we're talking about orientation and identity and everything. So do you think, or if I have to pose a question, why does legal awareness matter for someone who hasn't come out at work? If they have not told anyone, does it matter for them to know what the law is? What do you think?
No, no, because the first thing is first I have to come out. If
Hmm.
I'm look, it's a very simple principle. If suppose theft took place at your house, what will you do? You will go
Hmm.
out and call the police. Police will not have a dream that something happened at your home, right? So first step is from me only. I have to come out and talk. If I have not come out at my workplace, I am not a trans person. It is my sexual orientation only. Then I am either man or a woman, right? So whatever the laws are there applicable, or the service conditions are applicable to any other employee in the office, the same are applicable to me also. I'm not getting anything extra or any privilege I don't have, because I have not declared it. Even if I declare, it will not help me, because that declaration will not give me any privilege. Because anyway, biologically, because the law is made on the your biology, not on your thought. That is, my orientation is coming here, not from my body. Otherwise, it's coming from here. And laws are not made with the this thing. Laws are made on the bio. Even if I declare it in office, I'm not going to get any privilege on this. I'm
Got
either
it.
men or I am women, and I have to be governed by the laws which are applicable to all other employees in the office.
Right, right. So I think for trans people, self-declaration is
Yes,
there. But again, like you mentioned, that that declaration has to be done in order for them to declare, I mean, self-ID as a person who's
fine.
from the trans community. But I guess when it comes to orientation or coming out, sometimes, like you mentioned, that companies in general have this mostly, hopefully, in writing that the anything, any decisions or people of the company are not biased towards anyone, right? Irrespective of race,
Right.
caste, whatever.
No.
That there's whole
That's
writing
a
of
basic.
equal.
That's the basic,
Yes,
because
yes,
Constitution says everyone has to follow, but that's not
absolutely.
happening practically.
Yes,
On paper,
yes, right.
everywhere it is there.
Absolutely. So I think for people in general, even if whether they want to come out or not come out is completely on them. What they need to understand is again, whether they come out or don't come out, the law still remains the same. Nobody can twist it and say that, oh, you did not come out,
Huh.
hence this we cannot help you, or
Hence, you
hence we
can't
you are
get.
getting treated like that. Yes. So that nobody can force people to come out unless you are completely ready. And if you
Exactly.
require help or anything like that, there's obviously conversations to be had otherwise. Am I getting it right?
To that extent, right? One important thing here, which I want to clear it here: in India, the same-sex marriage is not allowed. It is not a valid marriage in India, and in offices, the service rules which are applicable to all the employees, they want your in personal file all the requirements of your family. And when we say family, you cannot name your partner there as a family. That is
Hmm.
not allowed, because we consider in as per our laws, family means spouse, husband, wife, male, female, and children,
Hmm.
right? So I cannot take my partner there as my spouse. That is not allowed as per Indian law. So no company will allow you. So if that is not there, so my partner may not get the benefit of LTC or gratuity or PF or all those things as my legal heir. That will, because I will not fall, my partner will not fall within the definition of legal heir in terms of family, because I'm not a family.
Yeah,
Partner
yeah.
cannot be a family. It has to be, family means husband, wife, man and a woman.
Legal at this point of time,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So is
Other,
this
because same-sex
also
marriage is not allowed here
not
till now.
allowed yet? Yes, correct. So does this also mean, like, are you trying to get at the whole same-sex insurance bit? Because there are companies who are, let's say, have certain, I guess, arrangements to provide same-sex insurance to
So,
people who have partners, but I think
right.
there is very few.
Very few. There, the
Yes.
thing is, the insurance is very different. When
Mm,
they are providing you medical insurance and all, third party comes in picture. It's not the
mm,
company rule. It's a
correct.
rule of that insurance company.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not
Right.
your rule. It's the rule of an insurance company. If the insurance
Mm,
company, there are few companies nowadays, they have started giving your partner as a the benefit, what uh, as a spouse a person should get, but not
mm,
everyone. And it's they have not mentioned it as a spouse. They are
mm,
giving it as a your family member or partner,
mm,
because the same thing, till the same sex marriage is allowed, it is made legal in India. uh,
mm.
can't get all the
Yeah,
benefits.
yeah, yeah,
Can't have
yeah.
it.
I understand. I understand. Okay, so a lot of times get this question from people, which says that, we talk a lot about workplaces and biased, unbiased workplaces, right? And in your opinion, what do you think an employee can do if they are being mocked or misgendered at work, and even subtly, right? Nowadays, people have become very smart with these things. They don't outright come and tell anything mean to you, but they, in their own way, they are making you feel you are not welcomed here. They're cracking some jokes or passing some comments.
Right.
Is is
Yes.
there something around it? What do you think people should do?
Yes. So far as trans people are concerned, under the Transgender Protection of Rights Act, every organization which is engaging even a single trans person, they should have one officer designated as complaint officer, not HR or anyone. One specific officer should be designated as complaint officer. This person is supposed to get all type of complaints, all type of abuse, discrimination, bullying, neglect, anything, whatever happens with me at the workplace, I have to report it to complaint officer, and complaint officer will look into the problem. They will call, they will talk with the people, and then they will try and sort out the issue. And if I'm not satisfied with that, the next step is, there is National Council for Transgender People, that's based at Delhi. Uh, that's a national body. It's having 30 members in it, including the 5 members from trans community. There are ministers and social justice, social welfare and justice department people. All are there. Website is available. That's the national portal for transgender people. It's there. It is available, all the details over there. You can approach that council. They will, the only issue here is, the council does not have the powers to punish anyone. Council can only recommend. They have only recommendatory powers. So they can recommend, they can call your employer, they can question them, they can ask them, make the people aware they should behave properly and all that. Nothing beyond the council can do. But still, if I want the person should be punished, I can go and file a complaint at police station. They will register my FIR under Protection of Rights of Transgender Act. Yeah.
I think I lost my network. Am I back?
I'm,
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah,
So is
you're on.
this important to know, like you mentioned, right? There should be a designated officer, right? That they can reach out to, who will
Complaint
be
officer.
unbiased complaint officer. So is it fair that when if a trans person is joining an organization, they can ask the HR if a complaint officer is already there or not?
Yes, one should
Yeah.
definitely ask.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
their right to ask,
Yes.
and
Correct.
it's mandatory for the organization. If don't have, report it to the Ministry of Social Justice and Welfare.
Hmm. Got it.
Report
Okay.
it there. So government will take call on that. Nowadays government is serious on the things, and if you go to this national portal for transgender people, that portal will give you all the what the government is doing. It gives you the identity card, it gives you the skill building trainings,
Hmm.
it medical insurance, medical checkup, uh, all everything is available on that website. So just I would request everyone to just go through that. That will give you a lot of details how the government is taking looking into the subject.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So thanks a lot for sharing all this, Deepa. I think I will just collate all these links and put it after the event ends
Sure,
so people can just go and check it out. And it's
sure, sure.
important to understand what these avenues are. Oh, Sonal has posted the website. Hey, thanks a lot,
Huh.
Sonal. I'm gonna flash it here. So for all the people who are wondering, please go and check this website. It's going to be linked in the event comments as well. And yeah, thanks. Yeah, Sonal, thanks for being here. Okay. So which brings me to our next question that, I'll flash it on the screen. So if a trans or non-binary employee wants to change their name or pronouns in HR records, is the company obligated to comply? So why I'm asking this is because um, like this is a tedious process. I understand that any type of documentation changes is it's extremely difficult, but also I see that, let's say, if there are people who work in different shifts, right? And women are given, let's say, a pickup drop service or at least a drop service if it is late at night. So these are avenues that are there, and other things that are more supportive of, irrespective of depending on the gender. So for trans folks, could they potentially miss out on these support in the workplace if they have not, the HR records don't show their real identity, right? So if they want to let the company know that, hey, I would like to change, even as simple as an email ID, right? I've seen that
Hmm.
they have transitioned or they have socially transitioned and stuff, but the email ID still has the dead name, and people constantly call them with the dead name. They get extremely confused, and it's very like very uncomfortable for them. So, is
Right.
this something that a company is obligated to comply, or how does this work?
Uh, Sonali, the thing is, even if today I want to change my name, like in India, we normally have the females are changing the surname or name after marriage and all that. There is a proper process to do that. Same here. If I want to change my identity from A gender to B gender or whatever, or even after the medical intervention, um, self identity is not allowed yet. After my self identity, I have to go and get it attested from the magistrate. Okay, and once I get the certificate from magistrate, then I have to submit that certificate to office. Then they will do it, and they have to do it, because once I but the first step I have to take, that I have to get that certificate, and that is where this national portal helps the people to uh, uh, ease that process to get that certificate, my identity certificate, and they will give you identity card also. So if I have that I card, then office will do it, and they have to do it. But just on my email, if I say, sir, I have changed my name from A to B, nobody will do it. In none of the offices it will be done, not even for me, you, or anyone for that matter, irrespective of that trans thing. Even if any one of us want to do, nobody can do it till the process has to be followed,
Understood, understood. Okay, I understand this.
and
Okay,
process
fair
is
enough.
given in that Transgender Protection of Rights Act
Yeah.
properly, and go to this national portal, that will help.
Got it. Okay. Okay, fair enough. I think, like you mentioned, the website is the end all be all. Yeah, it is very important to kind of go through that and understand what exactly the law says. And of course,
Exactly.
Deepa is available,
Because
other
Sonali,
people are available.
one important thing here is it's a law for you, me, for every one of us. Whatever type of laws we have in country, all laws are for our protection. Now, whether I like it or I don't like it, if I'm in the country, I have to follow. So I can't say, I don't like this. This is not the process. This is wrong. This is nonsense.
Mm,
Doesn't matter. So if I'm joining a company, every company has one set of rules you have to
mm,
follow. If you don't like, you leave
mm,
the company. Company is not going to
mm.
change anything. So same thing, I'm living in this country. This country has certain set of rules, laws I have to follow. If I don't like, better be out from the country. That is what. So it's not, law doesn't made are not being made for my liking, because we have 140 crore population. We cannot have liking for everyone. So it's
Understood.
with the general perception. So I
Right.
have to follow when I'm here. If the law says murder is an offense, it is an offense. I can't say because I enjoy, I will continue murdering people. I can't do that, because it is an offense.
Understood.
It is an offense. As simple as that.
Right.
So if
Right.
the process is there, I have to follow the process.
Correct. So I guess this is more in terms of people who have transitioned and have stayed in the same organization. If they
Yeah.
joined the organization with their birth name or the name that they were given at birth, and then they transitioned and then they legally got all their documents changed, and then they submit
Then
those documents to the HRs, then of
they will
course
do it. They
they
have to.
should do it. They have to do it.
Then they
Got it.
will do it. Then if they are not doing it, approach the National Council.
Okay.
They
Understood.
will help you.
Understood. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, thank you. I'll move on to the next question, so Deepa, what do you think? This is most from a person who's trying to join the workforce, right? They have these interviews and conversations with different HRs, recruiters. If a candidate feels that the HR recruiter interviewer is rejecting them because they belong to the community, whether they are out or not, there are some people just have a understanding this person probably could be from the community. They're not saying it out loud. Is there something that the candidate can do? Because I keep reading a lot of posts that, hey, I dress a certain way, or they're asking unnecessary questions unrelated to the skills, and I've been out of work for a while. So is there something that you think could be done?
My feeling is not important, Sonali, as per law.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
felt that I have been rejected because I belong to A community or B community.
Hmm.
If I have a proof, if I can prove it, I can go to court. I can file a complaint to council. I can go to court also, file a writ petition in the court under the this Transgender Protection of Rights Act. That law clearly says there should not be any discrimination at the time of recruitment, and after recruitment during the whole my work career at my workplace. So that is very clear. So if I feel so, that will not help. If I can prove it, feeling coupled with the proof that I have been rejected because I belong to A community, yes, I can definitely go to police, I can definitely go to court, I can challenge it, I can question the employer, and I will be taken care of. But only I felt it, that will not help, because law always needs proof. Law doesn't go with emotions or sentiments, for any law for that matter, irrespective of
Right.
any community. Or for everyone, the law needs proof, as simple as that. So if you can
Hmm.
prove it, options are there.
Yeah.
Feeling will
Understood.
not help.
Understood, understood. So I think this is more like if an interview is happening, a conversation is happening. Of course, we're in the corporates. It's better to get things in writing in some shape or form,
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
so that can be used as some form of evidence to at least counter it, right? And like I mentioned, that not everything needs to be taken up legally in the very initial stages.
Not
There are people within the organization as well. There are authorities and managements and HRs. Hopefully, that should be the first level of intervention by saying that, hey, I heard this particular comment or I have documented it and stuff like that. So I don't think this is the right way to communicate with a person, right? So yeah, yeah, okay, fair enough. So interesting. This was an entry to the organization, right? So I'm also looking at exits. So what if a company says that asks people to leave quietly because they're saying that, hey, because other people are feeling
others are not
uncomfortable,
comfortable.
others are not comfortable, this is not how we work and all. And if let's say this person does not have any other reason, like they're doing their work, their KRAs are great, their targets are being achieved, but they're being cornered. Things like this
I
always
agree. I
happen.
understand.
Yes. So is
So
there something we
first
can
thing,
do?
look, I would that's a second step. I would say first to the employer in such situations, uh, create an awareness in office. Why I have been bullying? why I have been cut off from other people, why I have been asked by the HR to leave quietly because others are not comfortable. Why others are not comfortable? So they need a sensitization training. That again, the law says it should be done. So once you engage one trans employee, it is mandatory for the organization to have the sensitization training for every employee of the organization, how to behave, how to work in team with those people. So that is the first responsibility of employer. In spite of that, if something is happening, yes, as I said, again, the go to complaint officer, go to national council, or you can go and file a complaint to police, but everywhere proof is required. So leaving quietly is sometimes I look, employers are very smart, or maybe they have the legal team like me, so people are there to tell you, okay, on paper you put it that person was not performing well. So even if suppose tomorrow court calls, I will go with the record, dekho sir, this person was not performing, that is why I asked the person to leave, it's nothing else. So be sure that no such record is there with HR about you.
Right, right. So
Otherwise,
yes, so I think an important thing for people to do is first of all take your job seriously. You know, whatever it's the work that you're supposed to submit and do at the workplace, document that very well. That hey, this is what I was given. This is my target, and I have fulfilled my target. And put it on email, whether it's your manager or
huh,
whoever you're reporting to. So you have your proof that even if they come
yes,
and say, hey, you're not doing your work, you have enough proof to say that I have been doing my work
right,
and you got yourself covered. So if
correct.
that is something that they're coming with, at least you can counter them there, right?
Right.
And the next thing is once that is done, of course, it is easy to prove that at least that is not the reason why you're being
So
asked to
then
leave,
what is
right?
the reason? Then still probe can happen on that.
Right,
Then national
right.
council can call them, question them. I'll give you
Mm,
one simple small example which I have seen, I have come across. Uh, say about 5 6 years back, when Kochi Metro started,
mm,
they engaged around 30 plus trans persons to run the metro at different places as a driver or at different places. Within 3 months, only 7 or 8 remained. Rest all have left.
mm,
When the survey was done, what happened within 3 months? All have been all have left the job. They were never terminated. They left the job. Why that happened? The reason was they didn't got a place of accommodation around and nearby their workplaces. None of the people around or the locality around people welcomed them. I'm not ready to give my house on rent to them. So they didn't got a place to stay around their workplace, and from far away their commuting was taking lot of efforts and money to them, so that's why they left the job. There was no problem at workplace, it was all good, but problem was outside. They were not having a place to stay, to live, to
right,
reside,
right,
so they have to
right.
leave the job.
Mm,
So
that's
that
very
is again
unfortunate.
a situation is there. So here workplace was all good, but society was not ready to accept. I was not ready to give my house on rent to you, so kaise hoga? So that
Mm,
was again
mm.
a problem. That was a survey done by the authorities. It is there on the net available.
Yeah, yeah, that's very unfortunate. I think going back to what you mentioned is that a lot of companies feel that hey, we don't have anyone in the workplace who belongs to the community, so why should we speak about it? Why should we have
Correct.
sessions? Which is not a fact because there are many people who might not have come out for various of these factors, right?
Correct.
You are not welcomed in society. Why should you say it out loud?
Why should I come?
Correct. But at the same time, just knowing that people are diverse and there's always representation in any community, right? And it's fair to, if it's
Yes.
a workplace of large numbers, there has to be someone or the other from the community.
So there are people, but they are not coming out.
Yes, right. So have conversations, even if it is not full-fledged, like, don't go all over the world and, oh, let's have a full-fledged pride walk and everything. Have
Not
smaller
that thing.
sessions. Have, people come in and share their stories, have sensitization that when we do have someone in the workplace, this is what is expected from you to behave, some jokes
Correct.
not to crack, how to address them. I think, like you mentioned, that the law has been passed for so many years, but society is still not there yet.
Not there to accept it.
Not
I
there to
can't
accept
help
it.
you. That
Yeah.
sensitization training. at the workplace is very important. We celebrate Men's Day, we celebrate Women's Day. So when the Pride Month comes, 1 or 2 days we can celebrate in office also. What's the problem? Even
Yes.
Men's Day is not being celebrated in many of the offices. Women's Day everyone concentrates on. Why not on Pride? Or we
Hmm.
have other occasions also where we can talk about the subject. Not a big deal, but
Absolutely.
we don't
Absolutely.
talk. It's
Hmm.
same thing when we are not able to talk about sexual offenses sitting in drawing room. Same way we can't talk on the subject or here also about a community. So these are some social blocks we are living with.
Yeah, I understand.
So
Yes.
law is there, but these social blocks are blocking everyone to come forward and talk and take the
Yeah.
even advantage of that law which is there
Yeah.
for our favor.
Yeah. No, that is very unfortunate. But hopefully we are moving towards a better society. I know that these conversations are still happening, which I don't think we would have imagined at least a few years down the line as well. Um,
Hopefully things are
yes. Yeah.
moving progressively
Yes,
in
progressive.
positive direction. Let's hope for the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. One quick thing, Deepa. I know that you've been, uh, very much open about, hey, if things are not working out for you, document it and like take it to the higher authorities. But I often want to kind of ask that if that does happen, can a company retaliate against an employee for raising these issues? Like
Officially no.
because people are very scared of these. Yeah.
Officially no.
Okay.
No company can retaliate to any employee for anything. If I raise a question that a person is taking bribe irrespective of any community or all, and that person is favorite to top management and action is taken against me because I raised a voice, illegal. So no company can retaliate against any employee if an employee is raising in any issue in the company, any type of work issue. No company can retaliate.
Hmm.
Officially, no. But yes, companies do that. As I said, they will make some documentation that work is not good or something like that. But officially, no, they cannot.
Got it. Got it.
Not at
So,
all.
and so, like you mentioned that, it's important to have proof because the feeling itself is not enough. But
Correct.
again, if when it comes to proof, how do you think employees can gather these proof without violating any internal policies? Is there any way around this?
Look, Sonali, today there is a judgment came from Madras High Court that I cannot record anything when I'm talking to you without your consent.
Hmm.
Today it's
Yeah.
a judgment. Just to prove the crime, I cannot record something. I
Okay.
can't say tomorrow to the court, I recorded this because I want to prove that there was a crime being happening. So
Hmm.
that I cannot do. That's not allowed because that challenges, that questions, or that is a violation of my right of privacy. That again is a fundamental right. So this right of privacy is there for each one of us,
Hmm.
irrespective of community. So any employee, for that matter, in the company, if you want to challenge any company policy or any issue, you need a proof. Now you cannot go and record the things, but yes, most of the companies, they have the whistleblower policy where anyone can come, anonymous comes and puts the complaint, so your name is not displayed anywhere, nowhere questioned. So either use that whistleblower policy, that will
Hmm.
be helpful. Gathering proof is take care of yourself, most importantly. Whatever work you are doing, especially if you feel that some sensitive issue is being discussed, put it on paper. Paper means
Hmm.
let it be on mail or something like that.
Email. Yes.
uh,
Yes.
and keep the record of this. Don't just lose it as and when required. I will so possibly you may not be, possibly tomorrow you may lose the access to your official mail, then you will
Hmm.
not be able to get that,
Hmm.
right? So it becomes difficult. So such things, wherever you feel if things are sensitive enough or you are raising some important issue, let it be on paper, should not be verbal, should not be on phone,
Hmm.
because even if recorded phone, court will not help you with that. So it should be
Hmm.
on paper. WhatsApp still can work but not that good. Mail is the best thing. Whatever do, put it on mail and keep a record of it. Don't
Right.
delete the
Right.
mail, let it not go in archive and all that. Let the
Hmm.
mail be there. That's very important.
Fair enough.
And should have
Yeah.
some group of people with you. Yeah, your community
Yeah.
means friends, any friends, because witnesses are important aspect in any type of legal proceedings. So
Hmm.
my colleague, my friends, they will come forward to help me, support me that yes, whatever Deepa is telling is
Yes.
right or wrong, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Got it.
other term what we use in law is circumstantial evidence, where I
Mm.
don't have a direct evidence, but I can show the circumstances in the office, the atmosphere of the office, where it is being checked by the courts and authorities that what is the normal behavior of people in this office. They can have a check, uh, come to office and inspection, a normal behavior, what are the policies of the office. Suppose they don't have any policy about sensitization, so that means there is some doubt that management is not serious on the subject, whether it's
Mm.
sensitization for gender or religion, caste, any type of. So there is no such thing happening in the office. That means office is not serious on the things. So these things gives the perception to the authorities that yes, something is wrong. So always we may
Mm.
not need a direct proof. Sometimes circumstantial evidence are enough to reach up to the conclusion. So
Okay. Yes.
circumstances, if I will show it to the authorities that these are the circumstances, look, or five people in last 2 months have resigned because they were facing
Mm.
such type of issues. So these are the circumstances which create doubts, and that is enough to take a call.
Okay, yeah, I think these are very good points. I'm just going to put it all together. First is document everything. Second is keep a not just your official email ID or personal email ID, also just send those emails so you have that ready because if you
Record.
lose access, you lose access. Can't record anything because you have got to take permission from the other person. Cannot submit that in court. So emails are the only go. WhatsApp, if emails don't work, then that's the next thing. Have a group of people at work who are your allies, your support system. If things go out of hand, you know that they will have your back and you know they'll stand for the right thing. And like you mentioned, circumstantial is where the companies whereabouts in terms of making people feel safe at work can be looked at, right? What do they do for a certain community or what do they not do? And if
So keep
there
your
are
eyes and ears open all
eyes
the
and ears
time,
open, yes, yes. Because
so
I
that you
have
can get the evidence.
correct. So if there is, let's say, a lot of companies they hire from the community, right? So if they say that, hey, we have hired 15 people, it becomes a big thing. But
Huh.
nobody says how many of those 15 people are still there, are continuing.
Exactly.
So if those are things to kind of make note of that, hey, how many people are still there? So if then you also get to understand, are you next? Right? Is this something that's happening
Yes.
against this particular group of people? And should you be concerned, or is there something you can proactively
Raise
do
a
to
voice
not
or
make it
something.
happen? Yes, make yes, correct. So yeah, this is very thank you
Keep
so
your
much.
ears
That's
and eyes open.
ears and eyes open. Yes, yes, ears and eyes open. Be smart about things. Of course, don't let people know that you are documenting. Be smart.
Right,
Yes,
because the
yes.
problem is mail also, every mail you cannot make a copy to your personal mail ID. That
Mm.
also again will not be allowed because servers will take check on that. Your office
Mm.
server will take check on that, and that will be a problem for you in office. So I don't advise that also. I just say keep the record of that. Maybe you take a photo, whatever way you can keep that it is there,
Mm.
or at
Mm.
least date and time are noted in your diary. You can say at the time of investigation or inquiry in the matter, the
Mm.
authorities have a right to get the things checked from server also. Even if it is
Mm.
deleted from everywhere, it will be there in the server. So if you
Mm.
can give them the date, time, and all, so they can get it
Yeah,
retrieved.
yeah, yeah. I think what
That is
the
important.
yes, and I'm thinking out loud, right? So in most offices, you have these quarterly reviews, whatever, like where you have to present what work you have done to your manager or to, let's say, a team of people. And a lot of companies ask for, let's say, a presentation or some kind of a where to tell that what have you done, what is your performance looking like. So, in order for you to, let's say, keep some results for yourself as well, you can just mention that, hey, I am keeping a copy for this for my personal benefit to see my own growth year on month, right? So, tomorrow, let's say,
So
coming back to
it's
the previous question, yes, if people say that you have been a non-performer, you have your records to state otherwise.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, keeping copy and all that, if you ask the permission from HR, possibly you may not get it. And you
Hmm.
keep the things unofficial, that itself becomes a misconduct in terms of service
Hmm.
rules.
Okay.
There are
Hmm.
some plus minus with everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is where the thing is, that you can have the record at least on so and so date, so and so
Hmm.
time, I have sent a mail to A person, to B person, writing all these things. If you can give that much information to the authorities, rest they will retrieve. So
Okay.
that itself will be enough. So that record I can keep it in my diary. I'm today sending the mail, so that much if I can do, but just to have a record, not to blackmail someone.
Of
uh,
course, of course.
Please understand, because every law, one should not take it in that case it is my in my favor, so I start misusing it. Because there are people, I don't blame anyone, but there are people in every type of laws. There are lacunas, and people are there to take advantage of that. So
Right.
at least
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's use it
So
for all the
let's
fair.
we have to be very careful on that. That if law is there to help me, let me not take it in other direction.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
So I
respect
think a good way to go about this is if something is happening which is beyond a person's control. Let's say they have spoken to the manager, spoken to the HR, and they still do not get any help from them before they kind of do go about doing all this, recording and evidence and all of that. Perhaps just go to consult a lawyer to just say that, hey, tomorrow if something happens, I just want to go about what should I be doing at this. Do you think that is a good option?
you go to any lawyer, no lawyer will say that nothing can happen. Lawyer will say, you put this much fees here, I will do this. No lawyer will
Hmm.
tell you not to go to court. But going to court for everything, or taking a legal step for everything, is not that easy.
Hmm.
Because an individual is fighting against a company.
Company. Hmm.
It's not one person. You are
Hmm.
one, and the opposite side is the full company. So
Hmm.
it's not that easy to fight, and legal battles are not very small one. Means, so far as
Hmm.
time is, it's a time consuming.
Yeah.
So going to lawyer is all good, not a problem. I don't say don't go to lawyer, because lawyers will come and beat me, because I'm also part of the same community. No, not that. Go to lawyer, but if you come to me, I will not say nothing can happen. I'll say yes, we will do it. So we will do it, correct. But the thing is, whether it's worth of spending time, energy, money, and
Hmm.
I don't know what I want, will I get that?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
lawyers is not going to give the decision will be given by the judge.
Hmm.
Lawyer's job is to put forward your case in front of a judge. Now, how judge takes it up, how judge interprets it, and how judge gives the decision, that is not in the control of any of the lawyer. So
Hmm.
no lawyer can give you the guarantee that what you want you will get it. Even if you
Correct.
come to me, I'll say I will try my level best to convince the judge, but decision is in the hands of judge. So sorry, I can't help it beyond that.
Understood. Understood. I think I feel like because it is always, it's in your mind that, oh, it's a big company, it's a company at the end of the day, people also feel very helpless. I think the first level is to just understand your own rights, where you stand. Second is to know for sure that you are in the right space, that that you are, like, for the lack of a better word, you are the victim who's on whom the wrong things are happening. And third is to then, okay, third, keep your eyes and ears open. And fourth is to then again choose your battles, like you mentioned. What am I trying to aim? So if it feels like the company is bad, can I look out for inclusive companies? When I enter the companies, can I really judge them properly based on the kind of questions they're asking? Can I ask them, like you mentioned, questions like, if I'm a trans officer, trans person, do they have a complaint officer? Or what kind of policies do they have, how inclusive those are. So if you people have a list of checklist that works for them, to know that at least I can check 1 to 5 to know that this is a company that potentially will not do these kind of activities against me, that will be the first thing that will make me feel
Correct.
confident to enter. Yeah, is that correct?
Right. So I would suggest keep the legal battle as the last option.
Hmm.
I'll give you another example. There was a case of Air India. Not now, say about 15, 20 years back. One person was interviewed for attempted exam and everything for cabin crew. Got selected everywhere. At the personal interview, was rejected. And it happened 3 times. And she went to court, and there also, there the Air India gave the answer is that because we don't have a particular category, trans category we don't have, so we cannot take her. Men or women, she doesn't fall in that, so we cannot take her. We have not categorized that. Nowadays still in the recruitment or different forms you have three categories: men, women, and third gender. But at that time it was not there, so they said we can't take her, she is qualified everything, but because we don't have a category defined in our office, in our service rule, we can't take her. So that was the thing. So things are growing, changing. So first thing is check, as you said, which is the potentially good company according to your parameters. And legal battle, keep it as the last. In between, try and go to this portal, national council or portal, because that's a government authority. So they don't have power to punish, but they have the power to check on what the company is doing. So if the issue like Air India comes that I don't have a category, so if suppose I file a complaint कि I have been thrown out or I have not been recruited, right? So national council people, they will check the company. If they come out after checking that company says that I don't have a category defined in my service rules, there they can say okay, improve your service rules. This is not done. Now the things are changed. We have a law. You better improve your service rules. They can improve the service rules, create sensitization amongst the employee, and then recruit the people. So that can happen. So instead of going directly to the court, you can take the first step there. Go to the council. Complaint officer is not there because you have not yet uh, followed the law. So complaint officer is not there. Go and file a complaint to national council. Online
Hmm.
complaints on the portal is available, so you
Okay.
can do that. Let, because they have the recommendatory power,
Hmm.
right? So
Understood.
if they recommend, that will have impact on the company, because that what happens in such cases, uh, the market value goes down of the company if they don't follow, because these things
Hmm.
go out very fast. And if
Hmm.
your market reputation goes down, that's a problem for the company.
Hmm. Correct.
So these channels or human right commission or these commissions are very effective.
Hmm.
They cannot punish the person, but they can do the at least the recommend, with the recommendation they can improve upon the things at the workplace. They
Got
can
it.
force the employer to improve upon.
Hmm. Understood.
So
Understood.
take
So
that step first. If nothing is working out, then obviously courts are open, not a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But be ready
But
to fight with that.
yeah.
Be
So I
ready for
think,
that.
like you mentioned, that the law is also like changing in certain sense, right? So to stay aware is the most important thing. Know that hey, legally this has been passed, but the company does not have that in as acted upon. So again,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, the decision is yours. Do you want to take that
Obviously.
as a conversation to take it forward, or do you want to go ahead and perhaps choose an employer that already has all the avenues for you to feel like you belong, right? Okay. So last but not the least, Deepa, what is one piece of legal advice you feel every queer professional or every LGBT person should have known earlier?
Important thing is be aware of your rights.
Hmm.
If you are not aware of, nobody can help you. Because if
Yeah.
I am aware of, then only I will come to know that something wrong has happened with me.
Hmm.
This is the law not being followed. So how I will identify that it is not followed? Because I
Correct.
know what is correct.
Hmm. Right.
And all relations, whether it's a workplace or at home or in the society, are reciprocal. So if you
Hmm.
expect respect from others, better start giving respect to others as well.
Hmm.
Because in so many cases of different communities, not only I'm talking about pride or queer community, and if you go to a disabled or if you go to a particular religion, caste, and all na, uh, where the people feel I am on borderline, they try and start taking advantage of the situations. Let's not do it. If the laws are being made
Hmm.
for our help, our benefit, our, take the advantage of it, but don't
Hmm.
misuse it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? So
Okay.
my
Yeah.
advice
Fair
is
enough.
be aware of your rights, but don't blackmail or threaten the employers or anyone for
Yeah.
that matter on the basis of that. Use it
Yeah.
for your benefit, not, don't misuse it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fair enough. I think, yeah, it has to be fair for for both parties.
Everyone. Fair for
Yes.
everyone.
Fair for everyone. Yes, correct. And I think an informed person is a powerful person, right? Yeah, it is
Exactly. So you
whether
should
you
have
are a
knowledge.
yes, knowledge, whether you are the company or you are the employee, the moment the other person feels like you don't know anything, you are opening doors for them to kind of play in the gray area. The moment you come
Yes.
across and are obviously the person who just shows up knowing that, hey, this is what are my legal rights. The confidence is a whole different thing, right? Employers will also see that
Exactly.
and know that, hey, I don't want to kind of
हाँ,
mess
हाँ,
around
वो
with this
पंगा
person.
नहीं लेना है इससे possibly this
हाँ,
person
हाँ,
can make a
हाँ,
problem and person will go to court.
yes,
So okay, let's take care of the
yes,
things here. So
correct,
that
correct. So I
makes
think
a lot of difference.
yes. So if you're just coming across, also you have to be learned about it. But if you're also coming across as someone who is very comfortable and confident in your skin, कि भाई मुझे पता है, I know
हाँ,
what I am here for, I know what my rights are. You don't have to necessarily say it, but there are ways to find out that
ways
this
to
person
find
is
out.
very confident, that this person just knows about their thing. The companies will also understand, okay, bhai, this is what it is. They will also be very transparent with you, and it starts with, I think
Exactly.
starts with your own parameters. What kind of company are you looking for? Do you exactly know what the company is supposed to provide you as per the law? And some companies go above and beyond. That is fantastic again.
Yes,
And then
there
you
are.
move around in those spaces, right? And there are a lot of companies who are have opened their doors for the community, very
Yes,
openly
they
hire
are very
for
open
the
and
community.
they
Yes,
are welcome. But the problem is
yes.
again that Kochi metro situation should not come. If company is ready to
Yes.
take you, but society is not ready.
Correct. Correct. Yes, yes. So I think for the companies, our advice would be that there are people from the community everywhere, whether they are out or not, they are there, right? That's just basic data math. We can see that, in so many metrics that come across. So don't wait for anyone to come out to then, like how we do a fire drill. We're not waiting for an actual fire to break and then we, kind of do something, or
Then
we're
we
not
start.
these are basic things that should be done, and just do, even if you don't do very extravagant things. I'm not a very big fan of just doing all pride related things and not walking the talk. Do some sensitization sessions, some workshops, have a speaker, have little conversations around the topic, maybe once a quarter. If you want to start small, twice a year, bare minimum, right? Just do it once Pride Month, one perhaps Section 377 anniversary, and that's it, right? And you just slowly tell people that as an organization, this is what our stand is, right? As an
Right.
organization, we want to let you know that any bias, microaggressions towards communities of any kind will not be tolerated. So
Will
people
not
will
be.
also understand that, okay, this is what it is, and slowly then you can start hiring, and you never know. So many people have come out because
Exactly.
companies have taken an open stand.
Right.
All right, perfect. This was a really wonderful conversation, Deepa. I learned a lot. I think I got a lot of my questions resolved.
Okay.
Yes, and a lot of these questions have been asked to me during a lot the sessions that I do in organizations and otherwise on LinkedIn DMs and stuff. And I didn't obviously, LinkedIn is a very professional platform. People, I don't mind that people hesitate to put their comments out here publicly, but I'm hoping if whoever has been listening or watching the replay, you have gotten a lot of your questions answered. Deepa is here. You
I
can
hope so.
connect with her. Yes, no, no, I'm sure. I'm sure. Deepa is here. You can connect with her on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You can, get in touch with her. She does a bunch of different and important stuff, not just for queer people, but otherwise as well. So yes, please show the support, and you know that you're not alone. And at the end of the day, please be aware. Knowledge is power. And yes, we will see you again for the next session. So Deepa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And sorry for the technical problem. I don't know
No
how
problem.
that
No problem.
happened. I'll figure
Not
it
to be
out.
sorry, can't help it because that can happen with any one of us.
Yeah, I was feeling like,
But
oh,
thank you very
sorry.
much. You have given me an opportunity. I can come here and share my views. I hope it might have helped all of the people who were listening here. And any help from my side, I am available. So can connect with me on LinkedIn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, thank you so much. And just one last quick thing. This is a part of a series, which is at least for now a four part series. This is the first of its kind. And then every week, at least in July, I want to do conversations around workplace rights, Know Your Rights Workplace Edition. So, Deepa, you have officially kicked off this series. Thank you so much for doing that. I could not have asked for a better
Thank you.
person.
Thank you.
And
I feel empowered with that. Okay, I have been chosen for the first session. Good.
of course, of
Thank you.
course. Course. Yes, and take care, everyone, and DM us your questions and stay in touch. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you.
Thank